It's time for our next project. This is a guardian. And he's a nudist. Like he's got his own nudist colony. He doesn't believe in equipping any clothes or jewelry. He likes a toga, apparently. I don't know why. But underneath that toga, it's all buff. Now, this is a fairly budget build. I mean, we have a Rational Doctrine, that's a couple div. And then we have like a Hollow Palm. And we have a Red Nightmare. A couple div. But I mean, we're not spending a lot of money on this guy. He's cheapy. This is a T16 8 mod corrupted map. 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, looks like it. Let's our res needs some work. Let's see how we do. Roll it. He doesn't have a movement speed or a Quicksilver Flask. He just kind of crawls everywhere. And then he throws down his big old Sentinel who melts everything. I mean, it sort of melts everything. I wouldn't say melts. It tickles everything. Yo, that's some AoE from those guys though. Get him, Cinti! I want this spell effect. Whatever spell effect they're using, I want that. He doesn't kill things quickly. But he does kill things. And we don't have like expensive flags. They're all gain charges when you're hit by an enemy. We have like crafted regeneration life and then like some just garbage stuff. I mean, this bismuth flask is nice. It's got additional elemental res, which we obviously need because we have no res without it. Oh, you definitely want your big guy. He only lasts 20 seconds. So, you know, you just gotta kill the packs within 20 seconds or you gotta resummon him. But this one is a fun example of loot! You don't need gear. You need a better build. And we are taking advantage of a few things in this build. And so this is kind of a fun example of what you can do with your character to die. Right there. I don't even know what that explosion was. This is a fun example of what you can do with your character when you're trying to build out your defenses. Obviously offenses, we have very little here. We have our Sentinel. And he does some damage. But he doesn't do a lot of damage because we don't have any scaling on him. But we'll talk about our defenses here. So, whenever you are building a character, there are 3 things that you should be concerned with always. And so we're going to start categorizing all of our characters in these defensive layers. The first thing you need is you need some sort of damage mitigation. Now, damage mitigation means that you are taking less damage from the targets. Now, the damage mitigation that we're using on this guy is going to be over capped res, 84 to 82% all Ellie res, and we have some armor. Armor is a good damage mitigation. And because our Sentinel guy here is also alive, 20% of the hits that we take go to him. And so this is all damage mitigation. And mitigation is important. You have to have good damage mitigation or you will end up like flat on the side of the road. There's no way to live without mitigation. And now we got one of these guys that has this aura that says we can't go over 50% of our life. Those guys are annoying. But we don't really have to fight the guy. So the second thing you're going to need in all of your builds is recovery. Now for our guy here, we have 2 primary forms of recovery. The first one is going to be regeneration. And we have recovery through regular regeneration, life regeneration. We have recovery through regeneration on our flask. And we have recovery through consecrated ground that we're getting from our rational doctrine. We also have regeneration through our ascendancy, which regenerates every 4 seconds. We regenerate a huge portion of our life. And so that's another form of regeneration that you can have. We also have more of an active recovery through on block. So we have 20 life gained every time we block something. And we have 70% chance to block and 65% chance to block spell damage. So we are blocking things a lot. And so those are our layers of recovery. Now you also want avoidance. Now for an avoidance on this character, the only thing we have is block. But we do have a lot of it. 70% chance to block attack damage again, and 65% chance to block spell damage. Which allows us to stand in a lot of stuff. And so, anytime you're looking at building a character, the things that you're going to want to focus on are getting those 3 layers and then maximizing them. And so there's a lot of different things you can do for recovery. There's a lot of different things you can do for mitigation. There's a lot of different things you can do for your avoidance. But you need all 3 layers. If you have mitigation but no avoidance, or you have avoidance and mitigation but no recovery, then you're going to find yourself eating dirt a lot more than you would if you did have all 3 of those layers. And so this is a good example of what you can do when you've got all of your layers correct, even if you don't have good gear. Now, ideally, we would have gear on this character, and we would have skills and skill links, but this was a fun experiment on if we could do 8 mod corrupted T16 maps on a character without a lick of gear. And this is a success. It's been fun to kind of play around and experiment with this, and if you have any questions over how to get your defensive layers up, please leave a comment down below. I'm happy to look at POBs or characters in my Twitch channel. You can come by anytime. Peace.